The United States wearing the blue, white, and blue. Germany in the white, black, and white. An electric atmosphere in the stadium built since unification. And the game is on. Agus quickly a long ball looking for Karofsky. Armas pops it up. Linka on it. Stewart goes up the line. It's out of bounds against Karofsky. Let's take a look at the Avaya starting lineups.
Germany in a 3-5-2, as is customary. Ramelow is the central defender. Linka on the right, Baumann on the left. Jeremies, everyone remembers him against Claudio Reyna in the '98 World Cup. Jens Jeremies is one of the holding midfielders for Germany, and up front, Bierhoff and Neuville.
Mathis to Lewis on the side. Donovan outside of the foot. Tries to chip it forward. Ramelow, known as the Blonde. Very easy to pick out among the Germans. Here's Schneider outside of the foot. Régie to Armas as we look at the U.S. lineup.
USA in a 4-4-2. Agus, the captain of the back line. Ernie Stewart, the captain in the midfield. And Karofsky and Mathis up front. The critical performer tonight for the USA needs to be Landon Donovan in the absence of Claudio Reyna, still struggling a bit from a hamstring problem.
Free kick and a restart for Germany. Very, very quick pace here. Armas steps forward, wins the ball, gets tripped up in midfield by Torsten Frings. This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Eddie Lewis giving it a chase. The ball skips. The turf is quite firm. It's fine if you're wearing screw-in studs. It is winter. We are, if you will look at a map of Germany, on the northern coast. They call it East Sea Stadium, Ostseestadion in German. And this is a low coastal plain, very cold all winter long, no snow cover on the ground, but amazing that there is turf in this kind of condition in late March at this latitude.
We're only about 40 miles from the Polish border.
Armas tries to play the ball forward. It comes back to Steve Cherundolo, for whom this is a very important game, Ty.
Cherundolo getting that chance at the right back position, which he has not had for the last several games. Of course, he plays here in Germany for Hanover. And he's fighting two other guys that are German-based, Frankie Hayduck and Tony Sana, for that right back position with the USA.
The man in the middle is the Austrian Bernhard Brugger. It is an Austrian officiating crew tonight. When they introduced the German lineup, the public address announcer would give the first name, and the 30,000 who are packing this place would give the last. Tremendous atmosphere here in Rostock. Stewart racing in against Frank Rost. Armas heads it forward to Donovan. Tries to settle it, gets chopped down by Dieter Hamann, who is a bit of a hammer, and Donovan gets up none the worse for wear. They are incidentally using the World Cup ball. It's the first time the U.S. national team has used the World Cup ball.
Didi Hamann taking out Landon Donovan's ankles. Didi Hamann from Liverpool. He's heard of Landon Donovan.
Agus trying the corner. Mathis looking middle. Linka blocks it out. Cherundolo. Mathis. Low ball. Hamann picks it off easily. He'll carry clear. Trying the ball for Neuville. Régie. Armas. Hard tackle from Frings, wins the ball to Neuville, rather. Siga, the captain, uses the right foot, the diagonal ball. Régie reads it against Schneider, up to Lewis. That's the kind of play David Régie has to make. Some U.S. fans have lost faith in Régie as he tailed off a bit in the second half of last year's final round of CONCACAF qualifying for the World Cup. But if Régie is making those kinds of reads, his stock is going to continue to rise.
Well, with Ziga's ability to play that diagonal ball, Régie will be called upon to make a similar play throughout this game. We watched Chris Ziga yesterday at practice. and he could drill a ball 60-70 yards with the left foot.
Schneider coming back to the ball, but Lewis contentious as ever. Baumann wins it from him. Now Schneider. Armas comes over to block the ball out of bounds. Armas for the Chicago Fire, helping Chicago to a 1-0 start with an impressive victory at Columbus last Saturday on Soccer Saturday on ABC. Mathis tries the long ball, thinking he could catch Frank Rost off his line, but that is the spontaneity that Clint Mathis offers. Sometimes I don't even think he knows what he's going to do next.
No, he doesn't even think about it. He's like, well, I'll give it a try. And Clint Mathis with the Metro Stars, the MLS opening weekend, one of the goal scorers. The Metro Stars victorious over the New England Revs, 3-1. Landon Donovan scoring for the San Jose Earthquakes at Dallas. And San Jose winning on the road to open their season.
Siga against Cherundolo. Cherundolo blocks it down. Rost under pressure from Mathis. Pulls it away from him. This portion of the match is brought to you by Haviland.
A little bit more spring in Mathis's step. He's getting fitter.
Reggie will control. He shanks it out of bounds. You can see by the build-up through the middle third of the field how Germany will attack Bruce Arena's team. They love to make diagonal runs. The geometry of their game when the Germans are on it is as beautiful a thing to watch as there is in the sport.
Well, they're also known for their power game, and the pace of their game throughout 90 minutes can be more than most teams can withstand.
Jens Jeremies. Hamann drops it off. Here's the 1-2. Neuville almost all the way through, but there is that kind of triangular support that the Germans show. Casey Keller blasting it long. Ramelow knocks it down, but gives it right away to Karofsky. Square ball, trying to find Donovan in traffic. Schneider intercepts to Hamann. Siga. Jeremies. Siga. Awesome left foot. Hamann. Baumann. Mathis trying to cut off the angle. Schneider. Lewis the defender. Jeremies back from 2 surgeries on the knee. Baumann. Neuville with Agus marking tightly. Flicks it through, trying to find Schneider in the seam, but Lewis was there. Pops it up the line, looking for Reggie. Jeremies, who will go anywhere he pleases, takes the ball, but runs into the Agus tackle.
Eddie Lewis coming back to make an important defensive play there on the left side of midfield, and he only got the start due to a recent groin injury to John O'Brien. O'Brien is here in Rostock, but was not able to respond to treatment. Brian McBride, similarly with an ankle situation, not able to play tonight, although they both are technically activated for tonight's game. 2 men in the wall, Donovan and Lewis. Schneider tries the outswinger. Reggie has springs and clears it with the head. Siga's throw. Armas gets a piece of it. Frings. Nobody home except Keller. No wind to speak of. Mist in the air. And the field a bit soft underneath. We did walk it about an hour and a half ago, and the moisture is definitely there. And also, it's a good wide field. It's 75 yards. It's a full 120 long. We see Keller's kicks, though, making 3/4 of the length of the field. Karofsky with a misplay. Karofsky a bit snake bitten. He has put in some good work for the U.S. team, but the last 10 games he has started for the national side, the U.S. has failed to win. Pope trips up Bierhoff. Quick restart. Baumann. Ramelow. Always support in the back. And the German backliners in the tradition of Beckenbauer will try just about anything. Torsten Frings, who has come all the way left to right, goes for the cross. The crowd cheers as the referee's assistant loses his cleat and goes for a spill. Always entertaining. Ernie Stewart wearing the captain's armband. On the full fly has Mathis and Donovan cutting. Brings it outside to Lewis with a little bit of space.
cuts it across the grain. Link on the clear. Frings. It's a track meet right now. Regis steals the pass from Schneider, steps around his tackle, has Lewis available, goes right side for Mathis, but I believe Karofsky was the man offside.
Mathis may have been in the offside position as well, but Regis again reading the play, stepping up and intercepting the pass. Great counterattack by the United States. In fact, it was 5 against 4. Ernie Stewart just hesitating slightly. In fact, he wanted the space to be cleared earlier with the Landon Donovan run so that he could get the ball out to Mathis. Mathis then crossing. Linka making a good head clearance, but convincing counter by the United States. They had numbers going forward.
Bierhoff comes all the way back near midfield. Stewart disturbs the square pass. Linka controlling, and now Hamann. Siga was hitting awesome crosses yesterday in training with topspin and a lot of speed on them. He was hitting them over the reach of his goalkeeper, but right to perfect head height at the far post.
Well, Casey Keller should be very familiar there with Ziga's crosses.
Neuville brings it down on the chest, tries the volley, but Pope blocks it. 50-50 ball. Agus wins it down to Cherundolo. Siga the pressure. Yeah. Cherundolo trips up.
Christian Siga causing the foul on Steve Cherundolo. But Siga, who has jumped around from AC Milan, he played at Liverpool, he played at Middlesbrough. Now he is with Casey Keller, with Tottenham in the English Premier League.
This portion of the match brought to you by Phillips. An incidental note, you may notice, if you're really paying attention, that there are no Budweiser signs on the far side. Because of some protectionist rules in Europe, Budweiser's not allowed to put signs here.
You gotta call W.
There's a trade war brewing, and Bud's caught in the middle of it. Rose puts it up for grabs. Tremendous penetration from both goalkeepers tonight. The ball will be in the attacking third if they so please, every time. Agus, Ramelow, Jeremy's nice touch to the outside to Baumann. Looking over the top, Bierhoff, very powerful in the air. Neuville against Keller. Cherundolo didn't give much to shoot at, and Keller alertly came off his line to limit the options.
A long ball over the top. There's been some strong running, of course, winning the head ball. It was Bierhoff, and the flick into space. Cherundolo recovering maybe just enough to put some pressure on. Good combination play all the way around by the Germans. They bring the ball up the right side. The long ball by Frank Baumann. Look how well Bierhoff gets up. And then the flick inside. Keller trying to protect that near post, cutting the angle.
Back they go again. Keller across the box. Agus clears it off the line. The U.S. scrambling defensively as Germany looks very comfortable in the forward half of the field. Siga against Donovan. The crowd shouting as it chants. Here's Schneider, who had that gorgeous over-the-head flick volley a couple of offensive thrusts ago. Frings turns, saved by Keller. Loose ball. Keller dives on it, and it comes out of bounds. I saw it as a corner, and that's what it is.
An outstanding save by Casey Keller. And fearless play also by the USA goalkeeper. Ball played through from Jeremy's. Look at this shot. Keller wants to make sure. It may have been going wide, but he could not take the chance. And then the loose ball, he had to dive at the feet of the attacker and really putting himself in harm's way to make the play for the USA.
Neuville, the outswinger, all the way across. Stewart chests it down, has Cherundolo available outside. Schneider on the pressure. Cherundolo chips it up, looking for Mathis. Ramelow backing in against him hard. The U.S. gets the restart. Armas under pressure. Hamann wins it, has a partial break. Agus completely committed. Keller dives out, tips it out near the edge of the box, and Cherundolo brings it away. If not for Casey Keller, the U.S. is down at least one right now.
Well, some desperation plays creeping into the U.S. approach to the game. They've been forced to it. The Germans running very strong at the heart of the U.S. defense, and Keller has had to be phenomenally fearless on a couple of occasions there. Chris Armistead right there made one heck of a slide tackle just to get his foot to the ball in time before the original shot.
Ramelow wins it away from Lewis. Germany better in the confrontations mano a mano right now. Rost outside to Baumann. Neuville. Bierhoff tries the one-touch pass. Comes off Agus. Neuville, number 11 in white, who created the last opportunity, is from Switzerland. Required a translator when he went to Bayer Leverkusen, the German club team, because he spoke only French. He claimed eligibility to play for Germany because of his grandparents. Bierhoff strong in the air. Neuville outside. Schneider across the middle. Agus volleys it clear. And again, Germany penetrating easily. And the U.S. having to scramble a little bit. Donovan runs into Jeremies. More trouble, Neuville. Juggles it. Regie. Bierhoff. Not the ball the German crowd wanted, and Cherundolo back to Keller.
The United States has withstood just barely, only barely, the early German pressure. Didi Hamann stripping the ball off of Armas. Watch Armas recover here, as does Agus coming over, and then Keller, like Superman, flying across to get his hands to it.
Karofsky plays it cleverly against Baumann to get it to run to the corner. Mathis penetrating. Off the post, gets his own rebound and scores! The United States leads Germany! Excellent play by Karofsky into the corner against Baumann. That's what created it, and Clint Mathis had 2 chances.
Incredibly, against 95% of the play, the United States and Clint Mathis, you know, he's not worried about what happens at the other end. His job is to take care of business at this end. A good turn by Karofsky as he rode one tackle and pulled the ball back. Mathis's initial shot off the post, he follows it up for the easy tap in. But Mathis had time there really to pick his corner. And the Germans are stunned because they are the team that has applied all of the offensive pressure.
17th minute for Mathis's goal. It extends his scoring streak, either a goal or an assist, to 6 consecutive games with the U.S. national team, dating back to when he had one knee ligament left that was his own, because he blew out the one he hadn't blown out in college last June. It'll be interesting because the 1-year anniversary to the day after Clint Mathis blew out his knee is the U.S. game against Portugal in South Korea to begin the World Cup for the U.S. And you can't think right now that Mathis won't be in the lineup. Long rocket from
what a loaded
Hamann.
ball. What a loaded ball that was.
Goes over the top. Karofsky just helped himself a ton. We saw Lewis help himself a lot against Ecuador with a beautiful left-footed goal that hit the side panel. And here Karofsky made the move against Baumann to create that rush down into the left wing corner and did the right thing with the ball early, giving Mathis maximum options.
We saw on the replay that Mathis had that opportunity even to look up to pick his corner. He hit the post with it. Fortunately, the rebound came right back into him in behind Frank Rost.
Karofsky has stunned this crowd with that move. Now playing for Crystal Palace in England. Bierhoff, low bridges Regie, and that is the proper call. It's going to go the U.S.'s way. Germany was winning so many man-on-man battles, and Karofsky's single move to the corner has changed the mood in this stadium and the play for the next few minutes.
David Regie has won several head balls for the United States. He was also the player who got the ball up to Karofsky to start the goal-scoring play.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Chevrolet. Neuville is offside.
Neuville's speed, definitely a test for Jeff Agus and all of the U.S. defenders. He's highly mobile. He'll run from corner flag to corner flag. the key so many times is to be able to withstand early pressure, particularly playing on the road in a full international. And the United States, with some luck and some heroic goalkeeping, were able to do it.
It's offside.
Casey Keller's face will never give you any hint of what he's thinking, but definitely offside. A couple steps in behind Bierhoff, behind Jeff Agus when the ball was played.
Keller looking for Karofsky. Siga. Jeremies. Donovan the pressure. Donovan the foul. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kit Kat. Bauman. Schneider. Lewis after him. Germany gets the throw off Lewis. Bauman serves it into the penalty arc. Stewart. Jeremies will try it. Keller the save. He's been a busy man. And if not for the work of Casey Keller early, this game might already have gotten away. But the U.S. leads it.
We watched Germany practice last night in this stadium, and there's no hesitation for the Germans to try long-range shots. It was terribly impressive, the accuracy and power with which they could strike from long range in practice, and they're willing to try it, as Jeremies just did a moment ago here in the game.
Agus. Siga back the other way. Bierhoff for Neuville. Keller saves it off his line. Neuville is hurt. Keller is slow to get up.
That's a pretty heavy contact as Keller, concentrating fully on the ball, arrived at the same time that Neuville. Look at Bierhoff, so dominating in the air. Armas trying to stay with Neuville, and there Keller, not taking his eye off the ball, ends up getting part of Neuville's boot in his chest, it appeared. You're not going to beat Bierhoff to those. That's his bread and butter. Keller, though, in the perfect position, and again, fearlessly standing up to the German onslaught.
Keller will shake this one off. Jeremies wins it against Mathis, but Donovan brings it down. Ramelow challenges. Lewis on the outside, has a good left foot, tries the cross, and Bauman will give up the corner in the 23rd minute.
And for this corner kick, David Regis will come forward for the United States, as will Eddie Pope, potential targets for the Eddie Lewis cross.
Lewis into the 6-yard box, and Bauman parries it out. It'll be a corner on the other side for the U.S. Soccer Saturday, 4 p.m. This Saturday and every Saturday until Labor Day on ESPN2. The Chicago Fire and DC United. Marco Echeverry's United Club going against Chris Armas's Chicago Fire. We hope you'll join us. Regis, Agus pulls it back to Donovan, 35 yards away. Stewart is onside, coming back. Cracks the cross, looking middle. Mathis over the top. Mathis nearly had his second. Clint Mathis is going to attract worldwide attention. The Brazilians were impressed with him more than a year ago. Germany has to be impressed with him right now.
He's always in the thick of things as we see this corner kick from the right side. The outswinger by Ernie Stewart. A very intelligent player by Jeff Agus. He knows there's not much in front of him. The ability to work the ball to the opposite side through Landon Donovan. Freed up Ernie Stewart. Look how much time Ernie Stewart has to try and pick out a target. And this ball bouncing right at near the edge of the German 6-yard box. And Mathis, I think, was surprised by the quick little hop in front of him, or he may have been able to put it on target.
Armas looking for Lewis, wins it down too far forward for Donovan. Ramelow clears it to midfield. Frings goes after it. Cherundolo, courageous tackle to Stewart, to Mathis, who has come out wide right. The target man middle is Karofsky. Karofsky turns, tries the volley, but it goes well over the top.
It is encouraging now, though, to see the United States finding some space in the German penalty area on the last 2 or 3 plays, including that cross from Ernie Stewart, which Mathis almost put away. This one here, Karofsky able to find enough space to receive the ball and attempt to turn within the German box.
Pope goes up to win the 50-50. Baumann. Schneider against Lewis. First touch, Agus hard. Regie handles it nicely. Lewis settles. Has Donovan square under pressure, though. Jeremy's making the alert play to take it away. Hamann.
Jeremy's is one of the better ball winners in the world at midfield.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Lego. Siga. Jeremy's. Siga. The 1-2 play. Siga tries the cross. It drifts all the way in on goal. Not what he wanted, but it will count as a shot on goal. Keller. Linka up to midfield. Pope. The U.S. had to dodge several bullets. Donovan in the seam. Frings chests it down. Hamann wins it away from Armas. Back to Ramelow. Baumann. Crowd a little bit restless here in Rostock. Frank Rost hearing it. Armas goes up. Donovan settles. Frings tries to spring it forward, but it rolls all the way into Keller.
Unlike the first 15 minutes of this match, the United States starting to gain some confidence with their possession at midfield, and that's going to be crucial, especially if they want to be able to preserve this 1-0 scoreline going into the halftime whistle.
Keller with a 60-yarder. And we get a foul against the U.S. Let's go back to the Clint Mathis goal.
The ball played up that left side by David Regie, and he has a lot of time, in fact, to push the ball up the line, and it's Karofsky who's able to just get a foot in, make the turn, look up, and Mathis has acres of space and time to bang one off the post and follow up his own rebound, and Mathis just has that scoring knack.
Put that Regie pass away in your memory. That may end up being the break of the game, because it was the way Karofsky played his body against Baumann, who took the chance that made the difference there. Now quickly, Donovan outside of the foot, but Lewis gets sandwiched. Jeremy's and Ramelow taking the ball away. Here's Schneider. Had a fabulous volley pass earlier. Schneider gets it back. Great creator. Created 4 goals in the home-and-home play into the World Cup against the Ukraine, which Germany dominated, winning 5-2 on aggregate. It's a foul against Schneider, and the U.S. will have the restart.
Well, Germany could make a case for the fact that Karofsky may have made some contact. Could have been a small foul against Frank Baumann. No call, though. The United States took full advantage. Really, it was more Baumann overcommitting.
Regie sprays it out of bounds. Not a well-taken free kick. Schneider juggles with Armas right on his back, and he gives it back to the U.S. This German side is physically a scary thing to behold. Nearly every player over 6 feet tall, and a lot of these guys pretty big through the shoulders and chest. Bierhoff is a notable prototype. Frings isn't exactly a shrinking violet as he works against Armas. And again, Frings has shown that for a player who started on the left side, he has no hesitation about going where he's needed, coming all the way over to the right here.
One thing about the German team, they won't start pointing fingers. They will battle till the end.
Schneider. Jeremy's has sneaked up all the way into the box. Here's the volley from Hamann. Skipping, and Keller is right on his game tonight.
And Keller so cool on top of it, because that ball did hit a slick spot out in front of him, but you'd never know it.
The throw goes to the U.S. off of Jeremy's head. Stewart, Cherundolo. Jeremy slides in, right back to Cherundolo. Working against Siga. Off Siga, throw to the U.S. The German crowd trying to rally its national team, which is behind the U.S. 1-0 as we play in the first half. Landon Donovan down to Armas. Claudio Reyna not available to the U.S. because of a variety of injuries, and Bruce Arena chose not even to call him in. The U.S. will play against Ireland on the 17th of April. And Rob Stone will be along with Ty to call the play-by-play of that one, as the U.S. will play its last European pre-World Cup game. Mathis square to Lewis, has Donovan at the penalty spot. Trouble with Bauman. And Bauman half volleys it forward for Schneider. Schneider goes right at Reggie, who tries to shepherd him middle. Wants to switch it to Ziga, who's got the tremendous left foot. Chips it forward for Frings on the go, and there's Pope. Eddie Pope gives up the corner, but he runs the diagonal well to make a dangerous situation less so.
Eddie Pope in there exactly for those kinds of situations. There's tremendous speed, allowing him to recover and cover in behind the rest of the U.S. defense.
This portion of the match brought to you by Nike. Bernd Schneider to take the corner. Pope gets knocked down in the box. A little bit of discussion here from referee Bernhard Brugger. About a quarter hour to go before the end of the first half. Very fast tempo in this first half. Into the 6-yard box, knocked down. Bierhoff couldn't finish. And the crowd is all over this man who scored 3 goals in 5 games in the World Cup finals in 1998. Once was team captain for the national team. Led Serie A, the fabulous league in Italy, in scoring with 27 goals back in 1998, but just can't do enough for his national side right now. Frings tries it. It comes off Pope. Corner to Germany.
Germany so dangerous on their set plays. This in-swinging corner kick flicked down right in front of Bierhoff, and he can't seem to find the handle on it with his left foot. Keller right there to smother it. Linka got up very well.
Another in-swinger. Frings, Jeremy's. Schneider. Stewart keeping him on the perimeter. Linka. Hamann. Drills it. Nobody there. Trundle will let it run out. This portion of the match brought to you by Avaya.
Keller defending against that last corner kick. Get a view from our Phillips goal cam. Keller coming off of his line, trying to just give less of a goal to shoot at for Bierhoff. Instead, Bierhoff left it there for him when he misfired.
To Steve Cherundolo's credit, he was in the mix there and was making a little bit of contact with Bierhoff, and even though it is Mutt and Jeff.
What a mismatch.
Yeah, Bierhoff, a much larger man. Cherundolo can be pesky, and he was giving him a little bit of trouble. Bierhoff certainly didn't look comfortable setting it up. Cherundolo at least was limiting his time. Big game tonight for Cherundolo, big game for Karofsky. They have limited chances still to make Bruce Arena's team, which he pretty much has said that after the 17th and that game at Lansdowne Road in Ireland, that he will have his 23-man roster barring injury for the World Cup finals of 2002. You must announce your roster by the 23rd, or rather the 21st of May.
Jack, go back to last fall. The German team's confidence shattered by the defeat in Munich, 5-1 against England. Michael Owen hat trick. But then they polished off the Ukraine in the 2-game series and were able to still qualify for the World Cup in that playoff. And Michael Ballack, who is on the bench today for Germany, we expect to see him in the second half, had 3 of the 5 goals as Germany prevailed 5-2 in total goals in that 2-game series.
Ziga. Hamann. Jeremy's. He's so fluid. He reads the game and he goes wherever he's needed most. Running away from Donovan. Cherundolo comes over. Jeremy's gets off the cross, and Reggie reads it. 50-50. Stewart goes over the top of Hamann. This is going to be a tremendous free kick opportunity for Germany. Stewart called for jumping in.
Well, Stewart claiming that he attempted to play the ball and was low bridge, which I agree with. Stewart was going for the ball. Didi Hamann didn't go up. The call should have gone the other way.
Even though Stewart is wearing the captain's armband and can ask about interpretation, Brugger wants no part of it. And he counts off 10 yards.
Well, we've never seen a referee change a call yet.
Hamann is over the ball. Neuville hit the pipe off the crossbar. Bierhoff tries to win it. Agus heads it out of the box. Schneider against Lewis. Twice off his arms. The second one gets called the handball.
Well, Casey Keller not quite getting over to that free kick from Neuville. See it here. There's a wicked dip on it. Keller not getting over until after it caromed off the crossbar.
And Neuville probably isn't even Germany's best free kick taker. That would be Mikhail Ballack, who is probably going to see some action in the second half. There are 6 substitutions plus a goalkeeper allowed in this full international. Trundle gets knocked down. The U.S. will get the restart. A stunning turn of events as Clint Mathis scores in the 17th minute. Regis sending the ball forward to Karofsky, who gets the assist after Germany had thoroughly outplayed the U.S. in the first 15 minutes of the match. Karofsky steps out of the thicket nicely. Armas, Stewart, Armas. Ziga went in hard and low against Stewart.
There's no question the Germans are among the best tacklers in the world.
Mathis punches it over to Donovan. The ball skips a bit on the dewy grass. Temperature in the upper 30s Fahrenheit. Regis into the box. Karofsky. Stewart blasted. It's a dead ball, as I believe Karofsky or Mathis was called before that shot.
Karofsky claiming that he was pushed or elbow, but he was backing in and initiated it. And that's where the call came in for the first foul.
Bauman. Ramelow. Very versatile player, Ramelow. Can play as far forward as attacking midfield, but on this night he is the central defender. Hamann. Armas disrupts him. Bierhoff coming back to the ball. Armas takes him down.
Well, I'm not sure that Chris Armas is that strong to pull down that big of a man that easily.
Landon Donovan getting a talking to from Brugger here as Donovan sprayed the ball out of bounds. It wouldn't be beyond Hamann to try a shot from here. Ziga calling him off. Ziga with a superb left foot. Keller a step off his line. Regis with the full volley cleared. David Regis has played a fine first half. Bierhoff against Pope. Lewis turns and blasts it 50 yards forward. Ramelow over the back of Mathis, and Mathis wins the foul and the restart for the U.S.
Clint Mathis holding his position extremely well there under the pressure from Ramelow, drawing the foul. But Regis has been the man in the right place just about every time for the United States in the first half, defensively and also starting the goal-scoring play.
Regis, miscommunication with Mathis. Neuville wins the ball over Armas. Ziga launching it for Frings on the diagonal run. Neuville splits the D. Neuville over the top. Germany goes 70 yards in about 7 seconds and gets off another excellent effort on Keller's goal.
Neuville, a lot of confidence and also speed to burn, causing problems for the U.S. back line. He times his runs well. It's Ziga hooking the ball over the top of the U.S. defense. The ball then flicked. And look at Neuville. He's found a gap in there. Just can't get the ball on target. Keller closing the angle. And Ziga with surgical precision getting that ball to Frings for the flick on into Neuville.
Schneider carrying against Regis, turns him. Frings to a switch to the right side against Armas. Drills it near post. Agus heads it clear, and the U.S. will give up the throw. About 5 minutes to go before any stoppage time is added here in the first half.
Expect intense pressure from the German attack.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. Hamann against Lewis. Armas wins it away nicely. Steers it inside for Mathis. Oh, he goes through the wickets of Baumann, who's had a tough night. But it comes off. Clint Mathis says it must have hit something in Baumann, but no, it got through cleanly, and it'll be a Germany throw. Baumann, a nice move against Mathis. Hamann, Jeremy's. They want to switch. Schneider, who's gone from the right all the way to the left. Neuville. Jeremy's first touch. Schneider waits for it, turns it back middle for Bierhoff, way too strong. Lewis punches it. Baumann up to win. Regis settles. Outside nicely for Lewis. Bierhoff with pressure. Donovan turns it for Mathis. Good development by the U.S., and then Mathis puts it where nobody is. Coming up at halftime, we'll have a closer look at Landon Donovan, the rising superstar for the United States. The upcoming schedule as the U.S. gets closer and closer to the World Cup. And Ty Keogh's first half analysis. Germany with very attractive play, but the U.S. has the only marker on the night, thanks mostly to Casey Keller's great work in goal. Here's Donovan in the center circle with Mathis. Forward behind Karofsky and not far forward enough for Lewis. This portion of the match is brought to you by Phillips. Bierhoff drills it left side for Frings. Frings against Cherundolo. And Frings pushes off while both were in the air.
So much of the German game based on power and determination. That time the referee very close by to call that push on Frings. Actually, Cherundolo was holding his ground pretty well despite the push, which is encouraging for such a young player.
Cherundolo 5'6", 145 pounds. A small back, but a very pesky one. A ton of fight in him. And he's making his bid for the 23-man roster.
His best quality, probably, for Cherundolo is his comfort level coming forward with the ball.
Armas pulls it down. Lewis trying to find Donovan, but there's Jeremy's again. Jeremy's reads the game so well. He's infamously known among U.S. soccer fans as the man who torched Claudio Reyna in the World Cup in '98. Ramelow, Frings trying to turn Cherundolo. Armas in support. Donovan and Armas take down Frings, and a free kick coming here about 28 yards away.
Donovan and Armas in the vicinity, but I think it was actually Cherundolo who had come forward from his right back position that actually caused the foul.
Ziga could take a shot from here. Hamann also over the ball. Schneider fakes to the ball. It is Ziga. Curling, scores! He's got one of the best left feet in the world.
If you give Germany enough chances with set plays, they will make you pay. Keller getting just a couple of fingers to it at the last possible moment, but he was reaching too far. He had not stepped in the direction of the kick because Ziga is so good at switching corners at the last moment. Keller had to wait and see which way it was going, then could not get to it.
Karofsky having a run against Ramelow. Goal kick to Germany. The science and the art of taking the free kick is performed as well in Germany as anywhere. This German national team has a half a dozen players who have those kinds of capabilities. That's why when they line up 3 men over the ball and you really don't know who's taking it until they approach the ball, the goalkeeper is sometimes helpless. Keller had a 5-man wall. He was well positioned. He got a piece of it, but it still was an unstoppable shot.
Well, the key there is you find players all over the world who can get the ball over or around the wall, but not still having that kind of force behind it, because even though Keller touched it, there's no way he could keep that ball out. It was hit too hard.
Here's Jeremy's looking for the go-ahead goal before halftime. Ziga turns, saved by Keller. Remarkable reflex save by Casey Keller. In stoppage time in the first half.
Now this is a 1-1 ball game. It could easily be 3-1 for Germany.
And the first half is over. Christian Ziga in the 44th minute has made this a 1-1 game. Very exciting first half of play. And in just a few moments, we'll look at the U.S.'s upcoming schedule, have a closer look at Landon Donovan, and analyze the action. And there was plenty of it in the first half as the U.S. takes on Germany in Rostock.
Phillips Electronics, proud sponsor of the U.S. men's and women's soccer teams.
You know that thrill you get when you're scorching the turf, taking on the world to bring home the cup? There's always a first time. You can get into the newest Lego soccer sets. Now the action's kicked up to a whole new level. So with Lego, when you make it, you feel it. New Lego Soccer. Lego is a proud sponsor of the U.S. men's national soccer team.
Whenever you call me, whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be around.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
You never have to look too far.
Chevy, we'll be there.
Always with you.
Millions of meters of network cable, 40,000 voice and data connections. One of the world's largest converged networks, handling as much voice and data in 1 month as many companies do in a year. A network for the biggest sporting event on Earth. And who built it? Avaya. Connecting the FIFA World Cup.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Well, thanks for asking. I'm doing fine. Just got in today. My brother-in-law picked me up at the airport. Mighty big airport y'all got here. And the people here are so nice.
You want a beer?
I want a bud.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just got here today. My brother-in-law picked me up at the airport, and the people sure are nice.
Nice people. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I just got here. My brother-in-law came and picked me up from the airport. Some mighty...
In the run-up to the 2002 World Cup, we're coming your way from Rostock, Germany, the United States, and Germany at halftime in a full international tonight. 5 games remaining for the U.S. national team after this evening. They take on Mexico on the 3rd of April in Denver. Then they go to Ireland on the 17th of April. You can see that on ESPN. And then 3 games in a span of 8 days in May. The send-off to Korea against Uruguay, Jamaica, and the Netherlands. Still to come on our halftime report. We take a closer look at Landon Donovan. He just turned 20 years old, but already he's an integral part of the U.S. national team.
When two smart cyber titans from Ask Jeeves got Norelco Quadra actions from their girlfriends, we expected a smart response.
I'll have 5 o'clock shadow by noon.
But the girls insisted. Slots for longer hair and holes for stubble were definitely the way to go.
It's only been a few days, but I'm liking it.
They loved how easy it was to clean, and no one could escape their enthusiasm.
I love this thing. Nice and smooth. Here, give it a feel.
The Quadra action has satisfied 99% of the guys who tried it. For more info, ask Jeeves. Norelco, put it to the test.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Grip Wrench, the one tool with the power to do it all. Use it around the house for fixtures and fittings or opening up that stubborn jar. The Grip Wrench is the right tool for every job. If you've ever busted a nail or a knuckle, then the Grip Wrench is for you. The secret's the unique gripping action combined with the power of the handle that gives you the strength to open, loosen, or tighten in one easy motion. It grips without damaging the surface. Call now and you'll get the Grip Wrench for only $19.99. We'll also include the mini Grip Wrench, a $10 value, yours free. You get both wrenches for just $19.99. But call right now and we'll include the grip socket, a $20 value, absolutely free. That means you get all this, a $50 value, all for just $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order your grip wrench, call 1-800-915-4499 or send a check or money order to the address listed. Call now.
Friday, the undefeated Huskies look to prove they're the best team ever against perennial powerhouse Tennessee. First, though, Elena Beard looks to propel Duke into the final against Stacey Gales in Oklahoma. The 2002 NCAA Women's Final Four, Friday on ESPN.
Your turn to play bad cop?
Nah. Good cop and bad cop left for the day. I'm a different kind of cop.
What's a good cop?
What people want is to make it to their cars without getting mugged.
What's a bad cop?
If some cop roughs up some guy.
Too late, G-Man. So you get some kind of third act going down there.
It's don't ask, don't tell.
What's justice?
Mackey's not a cop. He's out of Capone with a badge.
TV you'll never forget.
To the police!
The Shield, coming this March to FX.
The Natural.
Randy Couture is the heavyweight champion.
The babyface assassin.
Josh Barnett, victorious with submission.
Only one can be champion.
Let's get on! Come on!
Randy Couture versus Josh Barnett for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world. The Ultimate Fighting Championship. On pay-per-view.
Tonight's Full International is brought to you by Budweiser, official beer of the 2002 World Cup. By Haviland, proud sponsor of U.S. Soccer. Haviland, add more life to your car. And by Philips Electronics. We're dedicated to making the U.S. soccer fan experience even better. Philips Electronics, let's make things better. Welcome back to our halftime report. We are at the break in this game between the United States and Germany in the run-up to the 2002 World Cup. 2.5 years ago, Landon Donovan was named the best 17-year-old soccer player on the planet. Last fall, he was the leading scorer in Major League Soccer's playoffs. What the German club that once exclusively controlled his destiny didn't realize about Donovan was that the higher you set the bar, the more determined he is to clear it. Although not yet ensnared in unrealistic predictions of his talent, Landon Donovan constantly is giving greater hope. His astonishing development from a brilliant 17-year-old to a lock on the World Cup roster has been for him a logical progression.
I think I have a good chance of not only making it, but I think I'm in the mix of starting. And so leading up to it, every game has to be better and better for me, and I have to make it hard on Bruce to keep me off the field.
Everything turned around for Donovan when he found his way to San Jose. Leading the Earthquakes to MLS Cup and progressing with the national team were parallel symbiotic developments. He earned his share of history.
The game in Boston against Jamaica, when we qualified for the World Cup, I ended up starting the game, which for me was just an honor, first of all, to be in a game of that magnitude. But I think after it drew the PK and we ended up scoring and winning, I think there was such a sense of, team. Those guys had worked so hard to qualify and get in there, and I felt like I had put in a piece and I was part of the team now.
He's more than just a part now. He's taking steps faster than most would have dared to dream. Although he still looks a bit boyish in stature, Donovan, again, is striving for more.
We have to learn that You might only get 1 or 2 chances. You got to bury them, and you can't give them anything or they're going to score. I think now I'm ready, I'm comfortable to step up and kind of, you know, be the man, quote unquote. Not that that's going to happen, but if it does, I'm ready for it.
We're getting ready for Ty Keogh's analysis of the first half between Germany and the United States, coming away from Rostock in eastern Germany.
Cars you can depend on. Cars that last. Chevy will be there.
Millions of meters of network cable. 40,000 voice and data connections. One of the world's largest converged networks. Handling as much voice and data in 1 month as many companies do in a year. A network for the biggest sporting event on Earth. And who built it? Avaya. Connecting the FIFA World Cup.
Greg, this one you gotta see.
Oh.
That's Leslie's first bath. Look at that little tushy.
That's her little tushy, all right. That cute little tushy that belongs to such an attractive, beautiful woman. Because it's grown up into something else. Nice, big, round tushy, you know. Have you seen it? Have you seen it lately? Is dinner coming soon, or is it?
Philips Electronics, proud sponsor of the U.S. men's and women's soccer teams.
Kit Kat, Big Cat. Thicker, bigger, crunchier. Is your mouth ready?
1-1 the United States and Germany at halftime. A thrilling, action-packed first half, and we come your way from Rostock alongside Ty Keogh. I'm Jack Edwardson. Ty, if not for Casey Keller, Germany could have 4, maybe 5 already.
Relentless pressure by the Germans, particularly in the first 15 minutes of the game, where Casey Keller was the savior. Incredible, fearless play by Keller, time after time having to come off of his line to smother German chances. Watch the follow-up here as he puts himself in harm's way. Then he does it again on a loose ball here in the U.S. penalty area. So alert to pounce on the loose ball. And this one here, this took some courage, folks. He stood his ground. He's like a rock. Keller keeping the U.S. in the game until the 17th minute when the ball by Reggie up the line, very intelligently played by Karofsky. Then he looks up and finds Mathis with some space to pick his corner. Mathis following up his own rebound to put the USA in control despite being outplayed at that time. But then in the closing moments of the first half, Christian Siga into the upper corner. No chance for Casey Keller. Not only the placement, but the power behind that shot.
So the U.S. and Germany get set. 45 minutes coming your way without interruption when we return to Rostock and this full international on ESPN2.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
Millions of meters of network cable. 40,000 voice and data connections. one of the world's largest converged networks, handling as much voice and data in 1 month as many companies do in a year. A network for the biggest sporting event on Earth. And who built it? Avaya. Connecting the FIFA World Cup.
Come on, man. 23 triple-doubles last season alone. He's a monster in the block. He can hit the three. I mean, he's money come playoff time.
But he can't shoot a free throw. My grandmother could shoot a free throw better than him.
Well, I haven't seen your grandmother play, but I'm sure she's awesome. His critics call him cold, but I find this warm. I find it engaging.
I see that. It's more like a wheel of octopi.
Very unilateral. The play of dark and light is a classic, Dude, octopi?
Hey, let's ride the fake horse and go say hi to your mom. She's hot.
We love beats.
Some folks call it a lawn. Some call it a yard. But it's really more than that. It's a piece of your life with a life all its own. Sometimes a playground, sometimes a ball field. Always a gathering place. So how do you care for a piece of land that will be in your family a long time? With a piece of equipment that will also be there. Cub Cadet isn't like other tractors. It's better made, and it's dependable and lasts for years. And right now, it's more affordable than ever with 0% financing. Cub Cadet builds its tractors with welded steel frames and cast iron front axles. Most tractors feature the added performance of solid steel drive shafts. And we back them with a 5-year limited warranty. Call today for your free copy of the book, Big Ideas for Big Yards. Find out more about the complete line of Cub Cadets and for the name of a dealer near you. Buy a tractor now and enjoy 0% financing until January 2003. Cub Cadet. It's simply the best tool for your piece of the planet.
Germany wearing the white, black and white. The United States wearing the blue, white and blue. There has been one substitution at halftime. Hans-Jörg getting set to begin the second half in Rostock, Germany. The United States and Germany tied 1-1 at halftime. Frank Rost has left the game as the goalkeeper for Germany, and Hans-Jörg Butt is in. No other substitutions. Germany carried much of the play in the first half as you get a look at Butt. But Clint Mathis's goal in the 17th minute has allowed the U.S. to start the second half even. Tsiga's perfect free kick in the 44th minute tied it. Jens Jeremies. Here's Tsiga wearing the captain's armband. Frings. Baumann. Forward for Bierhoff. Agus reads it. Regie with Schneider's pressure from behind. It comes out. It'll be a throw to the U.S. Still an important game for Jovan Karofsky, who's giving chase right here, and Steve Cherundolo playing the right back position as they try to win spots on Bruce Arena's 23-man World Cup roster. Karofsky punches it forward looking for Donovan, but there is Tsiga. This portion of the match is brought to you by Budweiser. The grass a bit slick. Temperature is in the 30s. There is dew on the grass. The ground is moist. But it has played flat and true. Hamann outside. Schneider. Hamann. Half volley forward. Here's Schneider with Keller again coming out and roaming to the perimeter of his box. You cannot fault Casey Keller at all tonight. He has been courageous. He has been stupendous with a couple of reflex saves. He was beaten on a perfectly taken free kick. Frings. Down. Ramelow. Linka. Mathis the pressure. Bierhoff, the big target man, comes back to pick the ball up himself, but runs into Armas's tackle. Donovan turns, holds the ball, attracts 3, and drops it off to Agus. Mathis climbs the ladder, the flick on, looking for Karofsky. Bauman. Regie unopposed. Lewis. Mathis in traffic. Lewis's serve wasn't quite hard enough. Schneider. Bauman changes the point of attack. Siga here. Stewart having a look. Siga turns it inside as Jeremy's going to the corner. Go! Schneider. Bauman. Schneider, first touch. Lewis turns it back up. Bauman. Frings. Armas blocks it down. Frings tries again. Armas blocks it again. Agus. Bauman into the middle, but there's Donovan. Holds against Siga. Accelerates against Bauman. Goes up the line too far forward for Lewis, but good work from Landon Donovan carrying out of the back third.
Oh, and Karofsky almost was able to run under that ball after it had gotten past Mathis in the corner.
Ramelow. Cranks it, trying the diagonal pass, but he shanks the ball a little bit. Keller will play it off the ground.
Jack, you mentioned Keller's reflexes. You mentioned his fearlessness. But how about his positioning on so many of those plays? And that comes from his great experience playing professionally in England as well as Spain.
Jeremy's. Neuville, Jeremy's pass. He slipped a little bit, and Armas punishes that. Lewis settles it, not hard enough for Armas coming back to the ball. Schneider accelerates, tries the through ball, but Pope takes it away. Neuville would have been in alone. Lewis turns it back on the counter. Mathis waiting for it on the right side. Donovan in the box. Landon Donovan. Siga makes it a corner.
Well, Eddie Pope making a huge defensive play a moment ago, reading the play and cutting out the pass. And the midfield pressure by the Germans, very scary there because they were breaking the other direction. And if not for Pope stepping into the position perfectly to read it, it would have been a difficult situation for Casey Keller. Although he faced some very difficult ones in the first half, it came out on top.
This portion of the match brought to you by Haviland. Stewart looking for Mathis, but Bauman heads it out. Agus down for Donovan. Distributes to Stewart, who was back on side again. Drills it low when it comes off Bierhoff. Another corner to the United States.
Quite a welcome for the United States team here in Rostock, Germany, a place where Paul Caligiuri, longtime U.S. international, made his home for a couple of seasons.
They rebuilt this stadium 6 or 7 years ago. It is gorgeous. Stewart. Mathis, but Bauman heads it away. And Frings. Cherundolo tries a volley. It's 20 feet high as it crosses the end line.
Just a moment ago, Germany applying that relentless midfield pressure. It's a reverse angle. USA defending Eddie Pope, reading it just in time. Or it would have been a breakaway in on Casey Keller.
Neuville quickly out of the right side, the overlapping Bauman. Bierhoff's flick on header, and Keller makes the save, tumbling into his own goal. If Casey Keller is not the best goaltender in the world right now, you can have the guy you think is.
He's definitely among the most mentally tough goalkeepers in the world. Again, positioned just well enough, not too far off of his line. He was able to get back and get a piece of it.
Agus volleys it out.
Keller's view from the Phillips goal cam, backpedaling and tipping it just over the bar. Phenomenal goalkeeping by Keller again.
Jeremy's chests it down against Karofsky. Well, Ty, coming into tonight, we had the feeling that Casey Keller was going to get tested. I'm not sure that anybody expected the test to be this severe, but Keller has put on a clinic. Jeremy's against Karofsky. Pope, misplay, and it's back to Keller. They want an indirect, but it was a deflection, not an intentional back pass, which is the rule.
Yeah, the rule states very clearly that it must have been an intentional back pass, which that was not. Pope stuck his foot out at the last second.
If it had been an intentional back pass and picked up with the hands, of course, it would have been an indirect free kick for Germany inside the 6-yard box where Keller picked it up. Cherundolo misplays the ball out of bounds, and here comes the fast-paced attack again from Germany, the captain Ziga. Neuville, who played at Rostock. Hamann gets the return from Bierhoff. Wide right. Schneider pops it up looking for Frings, just wide. Armas on the challenge, but the Germans are so tall and so strong in the air that Armas couldn't outjump Frings.
We'll see again here that Keller appears to have this one covered too. Good approach play by the Germans. Didi Hamann swinging it out to the right side. The runs setting up in the box for the Germans. Armas, look at Keller there covering the post though.
Far post, back to the near post. Lewis screens it out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick to the U.S.
Yeah, I thought that came off the head of Lewis, but he won't claim it.
The NCAA Women's Final Four Friday. ESPN has exclusive coverage from San Antonio, Texas to Oklahoma, which is also sending its men's team to the men's Final Four. Tennessee and UConn, always a classic. 7 Eastern and 9 Eastern Friday. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. Schneider with a long diagonal run. Neuville against Pope, but Pope forces him to the perimeter. Armas harassing him. Now Jeremy's has Ziga. Ziga against Stewart. Jeremy's going corner, which creates this opening. Jeremy's tries the cross. Didn't get a good strike on the ball. Cherundolo heading it down, gives it away to Schneider. Turns it outside, too far forward for Jeremy's. Jeremy said, coming up to this game, that Germany is capable of anything at the World Cup, positively or negatively. This is a country that is so used to success. It made the semifinal round at least in 6 out of 7 World Cups, including consecutive championship games 3 times in a row, something that never had been done by any country. Yet Germany has not reached the semifinals in either of the last 2 World Cups, and most of the players are trying to have the expectations under control here in Germany, saying that if they make the semis, that's a success, and that anything that happens beyond that would be bonus.
Now, when you speak of dominant countries worldwide in terms of soccer, you always talk about Brazil, Italy, Germany, Argentina, more recently France.
There's Bierhoff just inside the box.
Get up!
Schneider all the way across. Ziga heads it back into the 6, and there is Keller again, with Bierhoff having to fight off Pope's challenge and not having a free shot at it. Keller tries to beat 10 men with 1 pass. Couldn't quite get over the last man, Linka, who headed it away from Karofsky. Ziga back on the counter. Up and down the field we go. Terrific pace to this game. Donovan. Mathis is offside by a step and a half. Casey Keller has been awesome and the difference in this game.
Keller in the first half stretching to get to the low one and then diving into dangerous situations to keep the USA in the game. This one, the most courageous of all, standing up to Neuville. And then here in the second half, tipping the ball over the bar.
Onside, bombing on the overlap for Neuville, and there's Cherundolo on the diagonal defensive run. It's going to be a corner as the ball just barely crossed the end line before the side, but Cherundolo has been on it.
Cherundolo coming across all the way from the right back position to make that play. A moment ago, Eddie Pope, and you mentioned it, staying right with Bierhoff on that near post run when Keller came out to snag the cross. That's encouraging that the United States is reacting that well defensively.
The roar is rising in Rostock. Neuville to the near post, and Agus punches it clear with the volley. Frings, who will go side to side, as will Schneider. Hard to keep track of the wide midfielders as they attack from anywhere. Ramelow into the box. Bauman's header, and another save by Keller. I do not have an exact save count, but it's got to be double figures.
Well, there's two guys on this field tonight so far that appear to work effortlessly. One of them is Keller. He's in the right place at the right time when he needs to be. He's courageous. The other one is the captain for Germany, Christian Ziege. He has the goal, but also every time he has the ball, he is making a deadly play.
Bierhoff heads it outside. Cherundolo volleys it forward. Ramelow unopposed. Jeremies. Ramelow to the keeper boot.
The United States would love to have the services of Brian McBride. He's here. We probably won't see him because of the ankle problem that he sustained in his MLS game for the Columbus Crew on Saturday. Also, Johnny O'Brien of Ajax over here in Europe came to join the U.S. team. He has a groin injury, so Joe Max Moore from Everton of the English Premier League will come on for Jovan Kirovski and hopefully add a bit more spark to the U.S. attack. If nothing else, the running of Joe Max Moore offensively and when the United States does not have the ball will help take some of the pressure off of the U.S. defense.
One of the reasons, oh, here's almost a giveaway in the middle as Mathis gave Linka some fits. One of the reasons given for Kirovski getting the start, since this is a full international and really there's no big result at stake, it's mostly choosing the positions. Mathis broken up by Ramelow. Check it was Lewis broken up by Ramelow. But Coach Bruce Arena knows what he has in Joe Max Moore, an unbelievably clutch player who plays at a high rate all the time. The book is not closed on Kirovski, and Kirovski deserved another chance to try to make the team. He figured in the goal, but not very much apart from that one play. A misplay here in the box as Baumann pops it up, but Boot is there for him. This portion of the match is brought to you by Phillips. Oliver Kahn, the awesome goalkeeper for Germany, not available because of injury. But they're pretty deep there too, as they are in virtually every position. Aegis, trouble. Hamann running on into the box, stumbles over the ball. No contact there at all. Neuville tries to turn it back. It'll be a corner. And Hamann was pleading for a penalty kick. He himself was the reason he went down. He stepped on the ball.
Well, Chris Armas had gotten him slightly off balance at the start of the play, maybe a stride or two before that, and that's his only gripe.
Not in Germany, babe.
No, exactly.
Not with the way they play in Northern Europe. Germany's trying to get a substitution in here, and it'll be Jorge Bowman and Burma coming on for the captain Ziege. And this is more evidence that this is just a full international and not a game with a great deal at stake.
If a real game was on the line, Ziege would still be in there.
Oh yeah, 90-minute man. So Burma in and Ziege out. Into the box, the header scores! Neuville!
No chance for Keller. This ball struck beautifully way out from Keller's goal. And Neuville, not a very tall player, but a very mobile one, gets on the end of this one, heads it down to actually Thomas Linka. Thomas Linka, who had won a big head ball earlier in the game, driving the ball down low. Keller cannot react.
Linka getting the ball across to Neuville for the finish. And Germany, which has had much the better of the play tonight, takes the 2-1 lead.
The Germans so well prepared in their set plays. Every corner kick, they've been very dangerous. Obviously, the free kicks, their first goal coming from a Christian Ziege free kick. They come prepared, and they're able to then execute in those situations.
This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet. Neuville in the 61st minute. And the crowd is happy now. Jeremies. Burma. Neuville. a favorite here among the locals. He played for Rostock. Burma, nice ball, but it squirts on the wet grass. Pope screens it off for Keller. Chirundolo. There's Neuville. Comes off of Burma, who seemed to reach for his groin muscle. It's cold and raw. A lot of humidity in the air as we are right on the sea. The North Sea that they call the East Sea here. Back pass to Boot. Hope goes over Bierhoff and pushes off on the way up. Jeremies on the restart. Burma.
Oliver Neuville, one of the many players in this German squad from Bayer Leverkusen. And you think about it, their coach for years, Rudy Fuller, for years the director of sport at Bayer Leverkusen. So he's gone with the guys that he knows best. What a player Rudy Fuller, what a goal scorer Rudy Fuller was for the German national team.
Armas on the deflection. Donovan can't run onto it, and Ramelow turns it back for Booth, whose job in the second half primarily has been that, just to distribute the ball out of the back. Not much pressure from the U.S. Germany has taken over the middle third of the field. Agus pops it up. Neuville tries to win it back. Armas steps in. Schneider inside. Frings. Schneider. Bierhoff!
Well, we're very nearly seeing a repetition of what happened in the first 15 minutes of this game, as the Germans able to split the U.S. defense and create opportunities, and Keller having no chance there. Bierhoff finishing it. Neuville starting it. Good little run there by Schneider, and the ball across the front, and Eddie Pope trying to stay with Bierhoff, unable to. Bierhoff just too strong to the near post. Here's Schneider cutting inside, getting it to Frings. Frings back to Schneider. And the near post run, and using his body to keep Eddie Pope away from the ball, Oliver Bierhoff.
3-1 now for Germany. And the home team clearly in control. This is a Porsche with a throaty engine. Right now, this is a precision machine with a ton of power. As out of the back, Boot sends it up to midfield again. That was how the goal started. It was 100 yards of development, and it kept getting faster and more dangerous at a more difficult angle to a more powerful player, and it ended up with Bierhoff having nothing to do except tag the ball into the strings against an, once again, helpless Casey Keller. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kit Kat.
Well, you never like to give up 3 goals in a game. And the U.S. back four severely tested, as they were very early in this game. Keller saved them repeatedly. So they were exposed here in the second half. Not much Keller could do about any of the goals.
Burma swinging it middle. Frings. Bierhoff misses the corner. And the crowd is all over him, even though he just scored moments ago.
See a situation here where Eddie Pope slips right here, or he may have made the defensive play. Nearly an offside situation there. Bierhoff off balance and off the mark.
You see the 3 little stars above the German Football Federation logo that's on the left breast of the German players. There's one in black, one in red, and one in gold. One for each stripe of the flag. It's one for each World Cup championship that Germany has brought home. 1954, 1974, and 1990. Baumann takes it away from Lewis. The U.S. getting badly outplayed right now. Well, it is not as if one 20-year-old man could turn this game around, but I think that we've learned that Landon Donovan does not have the same kind of calm down qualities that Claudio Reyna has. Neuville takes it away from the Agus misplay. Frings on the turn. Square for Burma. Penetrates against Stewart. Chips it into the 6-yard area. Score! Frings! 4-1. It's a rout.
Torsten Frings helped create the goal just before this. This time, look at what a pest Neuville has been. He drops the ball, perfectly paced. Frings, good little turn. He lays it out wide, and then he'll get on the end of it. The return pass, Frings just nodding it inside the post. No chance for Keller again. And it's Jörg Bouma crossing the ball to Frings. But you were making the point somewhat, Jack, and you would hope. Well, actually, what we're seeing is what happens to a U.S. team when they're missing in their midfield a Claudio Reyna, as well as a John O'Brien, and maybe up front missing a Brian McBride, who at least could stretch the opponent's defense, chase those balls down in the corner, and take some of the pressure off the U.S. back line.
Just to be able to hold it in the middle third. Here's the Philip Skolakam look.
The cross by Bouma. And the knockdown header, and that's textbook. Head the ball down, skipping past Casey Keller. Torsten Frings with the goal.
I still think that Keller is up there around 10 or maybe even 11 saves in this game. It has been an amazing tour de force by Germany. You might know this already, but Germany's last full international was against Israel, and it gave up the first goal of the game, as it did tonight. It then scored 7 unanswered goals. Now, granted, the U.S. is a much better team than Israel, and Israel was playing a 19-year-old center back in that game. But Germany is feeling it right now, and these are some players who are fighting for spots in their 23, and they're not about to let up before the final whistle tonight.
We just don't want to open this up, Ron.
Bruce Arena looking to his bench just for some energy, bit of a spark, some fight in this team. See if they can at least regain some respectability in terms of the run of play.
So Kobe Jones in for Eddie Lewis. This portion of the match is brought to you by Lego.
Ernie Stewart has gone to the left side for the United States since Jones has taken up a position on the right.
Moore, Mathis has an opening. Clint Mathis scores! 2 for Mathis, and the U.S. has some fight. It's been an entertaining night.
Clint Mathis with a brace, delighting the American fans. This ball laid through very nicely, first by Armas and then by Joe Max Moore. Very borderline offside, but Mathis makes the most of it. I mean, he absolutely buries this shot. And that's the confidence you want to see in a goal scorer. Mathis does not lack confidence, despite having just come back from the injury not that long ago, because this is not placement. He just overpowers Booth for the goal to bring the U.S. at least marginally back into this one.
That was, how you say, the blunt instrument.
I'm going to wind up and hit this as hard as I can. Stop it if you can.
What do you know? It stretched the strings, yep. Boot with Donovan in his face. Well, the U.S. shows a good deal of spunk there. Bierhoff, he is a pillar in the front of the line for Germany. Regie Berhalter has checked into the game for the United States, and Agus is out. A rare backline substitution for Bruce Arena. Schneider tries the chip. Keller gets a piece. It comes out. Should be a corner, and is.
The U.S. defense scrambling again. German speed and power proving to be too stern of a test. Keller forced to knock the ball out for the corner.
Sane has entered the game, I believe, for Cherundolo. Off the corner. Jones pops it up. Burma, who had the nice assist earlier. Schneider misplays it. On the second touch, Kobe Jones against Schneider. Schneider picks his pocket. Through ball for Bauman. Tries to turn on Berhalter and can't. Armas out to Sane, who gets his first touch. Mathis chests it down. Jones into the center circle. Moore. Donovan. Frings beats him to the ball.
The ball to play there was all the way to Stewart. Stewart was on that far side, screaming for the ball.
The Lego stars of tomorrow, Steve Cherundolo, who had a pretty pesky game tonight again for the United States, made some nice diagonal defensive runs to cover. His first full international appearance for the U.S. came just in 1999, but he has frequently earned a spot in the national side. Lego stars of tomorrow, and Cherundolo at age 23 is going to be around for a while.
Tony Sane coming into the right back position for Cherundolo. Tony Sane very familiar with these German players. Sane plays in the Bundesliga for Nuremberg.
This portion of the match brought to you by Nike. Neuville trying to turn. Stewart racing out. Moore. Donovan sends Moore in. He's got Mathis middle. Donovan racing middle. Joe Max Moore wide, and he had two men. Goal kick. You can't doubt Joe Max if he thinks he's got the corner.
Well, it seemed that the ball got caught underfoot as he approached the penalty area. But good work here by Ernie Stewart to win possession. Then a misplay there by Romulo, and there goes Landon Donovan with a nice little push into space. It's a good thing he didn't push it to Mathis, because Mathis was in the offside position. And just as Joe Max Moore, it could have been a little bit of indecision whether to slide it over to Mathis, whether to take a shot. As he hesitated, the ball got caught underneath him. But the United States had to do better with the 3-on-1 situation than that. They expect to get back in this game.
Donovan scrapping after the ball. Mathis. Hamann, trouble from behind. Sane scoops it up for Jones, but it's too high. And runs out.
Tony Sane played the full 90 this past weekend for Nuremberg against Hertha Berlin. They came short of the victory and are having a very tough season at Nuremberg.
Schneider is out, and Asamoah is in. Gerald Asamoah is the first black player to play for Germany, the first African-born player.
Born in Ghana, but has become a German citizen and has made his mark, has scored goals for Germany now.
Mathis chops down Bauman. Asamoah plays for Schalke in the German Bundesliga, the German league. Moved to Germany at age 9. He has a heart condition and requires that a medical apparatus be on the sideline in case he develops an irregular heartbeat in the course of the game. Bauman into the middle, almost hits the referee. Frings turns away from Armas. Asamoah on the outside against Regie, chips it middle. Pope climbs the ladder. Burma settles against Jones.
Right, Tony, right!
Hamann. Linka. Burma. Ramelow. Bauman. Asamoah against Regie. Hamann holds, sends Asamoah away. Regie, quick enough. Turns the ball outside. It'll be a throw into Germany.
Would have made things a bit more exciting for the U.S. to have converted that 3-on-1 break that they had. Donovan and Joe Max Moore and Clint Mathis.
Asamoah stumbles on the wet side, and the U.S. will get the throw in. Now it's ruled a foul before the ball crossed the line. This portion of the match brought to you by Avaya. Asamoah on the turn. Stewart trying to cut it down. Asamoah going outside. Stewart deflects it. Asamoah with a third chance here. And Stewart blocks it out of throw to Germany.
Well, the German fans have seen 4 goals. They probably would like to see a couple more. But the U.S.'s job at this point is to make sure they don't give up any more. It's just for confidence. Now, if they could create one, fantastic. But it's not an embarrassment to lose to Germany 4-2 in Germany.
A push called against Germany here. The U.S. will get the restart. You cannot fault Keller on any of the 4 goals. And if not for his work in the first half,
could have twice as many.
It could be 8. It really could.
He made one brilliant stop here in the second half as well.
More build-up from the Germans. Berhalter challenges Frings. That forces the turnover, but Jones's pass is a bad one into the middle. Linke. Bad giveaway. Mathis trying to capitalize on it. Bierhoff on the back pass is playing it right to Clint Mathis. Bierhoff set the standard so high for himself. He's scored so frequently for his club team in Italy and also for the German national side. 32 goals in 60 full international matches coming into tonight. And of course, Bierhoff does have one of the 4 for Germany tonight. The fans pretty much expect perfection, and then he has to get better every day. Donovan's first touch pass, not where he wanted it. But Hamann gives it right back to Sane. Armas. Bierhoff intercepts. Frings sandwiched Sane and Armas. Asamoah on the right side against Regis. Hamann. Frings. Berhalter collapses on him, pushes him down. He began to slip and put the hands on. And why not? Frings is as solid as a piling on a pier. Another substitution coming for Germany. Tomas Berdaric comes in for Neuville, and listen to the ovation.
Well, Oliver Neuville worked tirelessly in this match. He created a lot of the openings that other players were able to take advantage of.
The free kick again. It's Keller coming off his line to punch it clear. Donovan on the 50-50 against Frings. It comes loose. Armas takes it, springs Donovan, but it doesn't curl quite enough for Joe Max Moore. Burma juggling away from Stewart. Has Baumann in support.
Keller punched that ball about 30-plus yards.
Heinrich, who has entered the game. Frings chests it down against Sane. Linke. Frings on the go. Frings penetrates and drives it. It goes wide to Keller's right. The Kit Kat break of the game. The Germans with awesome development bringing it upfield.
Well, at this point of the game, the United States were still in it, but this made it 3-1. Good combination work up the right side, and then Bierhoff doing what he's paid to do, finish in the penalty area, beating Eddie Pope to that on that near post run.
Germany has outplayed the U.S. this entire game, but the U.S. did take advantage of a couple of breaks, notably in the 17th minute, taking the 1-0 lead on the goal by Mathis, but then Siga, Neuville, Bierhoff, and Frings answered before Mathis got another one. 4-2. Less than 10 minutes to go before stoppage time. Ramelow comes through hard to tackle the ball away from Moore. Berdaric. Burma. Too far forward for Berdaric. Burma belts it Bierhoff's way, but it comes all the way in on the beleaguered Casey Keller. Keller, despite giving up 4, still may have helped his cause toward being the #1 over Brad Friedel.
His performance in the first 15 minutes alone.
Landon Donovan turns it with space. Takes it here. Outside to Jones. Mathis and Moore in the box. Jones tries the cross. Heinrich blocks it down. Giveaway. Armas takes it back quickly. Donovan first touch not in Moore's reach. And Boot has it. Another good learning experience for Landon Donovan tonight. This portion of the match brought to you by Budweiser. Boot gives it a good 70-yarder. Back to Keller. Hamann. Pope steps up. Donovan again has space, 10 yards around him in every direction. Fires it left side for Mathis. Stewart flying through the middle. Mathis takes on Ramelow, chips it middle. Donovan on the volley. Just goes over the top, and he kicks the post in disgust. Landon Donovan would have liked to have left his calling card.
It is important, though, to continue to look dangerous in this game and create credible attacks, and this definitely was one as Mathis, coming in from the left side, uses the outside of the right foot. Good run right up the gut by Landon Donovan. Striking it first time. Mathis, good vision to pick out Donovan's run. And Donovan, disappointment here in Germany previously, not being able to get off of Bayer Leverkusen's reserve squad. Disappointment here, not being able to nail one in Germany to prove maybe that he belongs back here at the top level.
But again, for Landon Donovan, you can almost see him improving, because the previous rush, he might have hurried his pass a little bit. That time, he played it early, and he played it surely to Mathis wide, and with the help of Stewart's forward run, then followed himself with a high-speed run and got off the volley. So even in those 2 consecutive chances, you can see the improvement in Landon Donovan, and that is what impresses people the most about him. It's not just his athletic ability and how smart he is, it's how hard he works and how he sees the game.
Go tight, tight, tight!
Burma against Sane. It's off Sane, so Keller has to knock it down. The wet ball skips away.
Pretty wild spin on it, too, after the deflection off of Tony Sane.
Keller, a low blast. Mathis trying to head it through to Moore. Ramelow. Good. Berhalter climbs the ladder. Regis settles against Asamoah. Pace of play flattening out finally here. Asamoah trips up Regis. Between now and the World Cup, the U.S. plays in Denver on April 3rd, then 3 weeks from today against Ireland, then 3 games in 8 days, Uruguay, Jamaica, and Netherlands to send off to Korea. It is going to be a tremendous MLS season as the league has shrunk from 12 teams down to 10, distributing some pretty high-quality players across the rest of the league. And we have seen some teams, such as New England, go from near the bottom of the barrel to having very high expectations. They picked up national team defender Carlos Llamosa. They also picked up help in midfield with Steve Ralston, and they picked up help up front with Mamadou Diallo. Bierhoff is offside behind Sane. This portion of the match brought to you by Chevrolet.
Well, the United States will face Portugal, co-host South Korea, and Poland in their first-round games of the World Cup. Germany in a pretty interesting group with Cameroon, the African champions, Ireland, and Saudi Arabia.
Mathis against Baumann outside on the right. Baumann, a nice tackle of the ball to win it. Hamann wearing the captain's armband since Zigo went off. Frings, Asamoah. Berhalter steps forward to win the ball to Donovan. Armas square for Sane. Burma coming back defensively. Moore diagonally. This will be a throw to the U.S. Moore chests it back to Sané. Berhalter. Reggie. Puts it up for grabs. Moore chests it down. Jones's volley deflects. Should be a corner, but it's ruled a goal kick. I thought a German player might have gotten a piece of that. Clint Mathis is the Chevrolet man of the match for the United States. 2 goals. One early that put the U.S. up, and one late that made it a 2-goal game. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in Clint Mathis's name to the U.S. Soccer Foundation.
And Casey Keller probably deserves a mention, even though giving up 4 goals, you wouldn't think it.
Moore has a couple of diagonal options, but the deliberate attack allows the Germans to get back in big numbers. Asamoah Armas trips him. Clint Mathis did what he is asked to do. He put it in the back.
And the 17th minute, Karofsky getting a ball from Reggie, being able to shake off one defender, finds Mathis wide open in the box. Mathis can't put away the first one, but he does finish the second one. It was a U.S. lead. This one, though, was more maybe just to regain some respect for the USA as he finishes off a right footer, drilling it low. Mathis, the Chevrolet man of the match for the United States.
We are very late. Only a minute or 2 left to go, depending on the judgment of the officials. There was virtually no stoppage time in the first half. Wouldn't imagine there would be much here. Joe Max Moore on the through ball from Sané. Can't catch it on the instep. Would have been one of the most difficult skills to perform, to bring the ball down when you're running on slippery turf and control it.
It was a well-timed run, though. Joe Max Moore was not offside. Had he been able to get a foot to that.
Bierhoff square to Frings. This might be offside, and it is. The flag went up pretty late, which is dangerous for Casey Keller. But Thomas Bardaric did not go in any harmful way to Keller. A lot of sportsmanship being displayed here. And that, again, is one of the differences between a full international and what we will see starting May 31st in Korea and Japan. There will be 1 minute of stoppage time added at the official's discretion.
Well, for the German squad, Torsten Frings has been a thorn in the side of the USA the entire game. He's very rugged in midfield. He's been running forward, wearing the number 7. He's been involved in a couple of the goals for Germany as well.
Well, Bierhoff said before the game tonight that Germany should be considered a World Cup dark horse, but one with some hope. And I think that Germany, playing a lot of players, especially defensively, who are not expected to see a lot of action in Korea and Japan, does have a lot of reason for hope. The midfield has been extremely strong. Their development has been sharp, and their finishing ability, well, if not for Keller, they could have 7 or 8 tonight. Kruger looking at his watch. Germany has beaten the United States 4-2 in Rostock. The U.S. got pretty thoroughly spanked in this one. Clint Mathis got a couple of markers to make it look not so bad in the paper. Casey Keller kept it from being an absolute blowout. We'll be back to wrap it up from Rostock, Germany. 4-2 the final. Plenty of highlights from this one. The United States learns a lesson from a 3-time World Cup champion. Stay with us.
Millions of meters of network cable.
Javier Aguirre. Estados Unidos ya está en la cancha y también México tomando posición. Tenemos para usted las alineaciones del local, aunque hoy visitante Estados Unidos. Con estos 11: Meola, Haydock, Pope, Mastroeni, Ivani, Mulrooney, Landon Donovan, Damarcus Beasley, Kobe Jones, Clint Mathis y Ante Razón dirige técnicamente Bruce Arena. Rápidamente vamos con México, que dispuso a estos 11 de entrada: el Conejo Pérez, el Caballo Rodríguez, Melvin Brown, Manolo Vidrio, Heriberto Ramón Morales y Braulio Luna, que va desde el arranque. Gabriel Caballero, Germán Villa, que regresa, y Dani Osorno. En el frente de ataque, Carlos Ochoa y Chuy Mendoza.
Aquí están los dos equipos ya en el terreno de juego en sus respectivos campos. El árbitro del partido es de Jamaica, Clive White, acompañado por Ricardo Morgan y David Meeker. El árbitro de alternativa es Ali Shahir de los Estados Unidos.
Norberto y Andrés, un detalle bien importante a remarcar antes del arranque del partido. El Conejo Pérez recibe toda la confianza del vasco Javier Aguirre y al ser el pie veterano del equipo junto con Braulio y Villa, que estuvieron en Francia, lleva el gafete de capitán.
Muy bien, todo listo, va a mover México en estos primeros 45 minutos. Ahí está la orden del árbitro. Movió México, estamos en vivo, en directo desde Denver por Telemundo. México, Estados Unidos rumbo al Mundial. Venga, Andrés, vamos.
Braulio Luna, la pelota venía filtrada para Carlos Ochoa, ya cobró una infracción al árbitro jamaiquina. Ahí atrás es tiro libre para Estados Unidos, ahí adelante para Estados Unidos, la trabaja la defensa mexicana. Le va a pegar Kobe Jones, ¿no? Se lo va a dejar a Mulrooney. Aquí viene el centro del jugador de San José, salta y gana Melvin Brown. Arriba parecía cometer infracción Mandolón, la pelota que sale disparada. El piso es muy duro. Eric Pope tiene que esperar que bote por una vez la pelota y ya la tiene Tony Meola para salir con este Greg Vanny, que está en el Bastia de la primera división de Francia, finalista de la Copa de Francia. Va a jugar el 11 de mayo en el Saint-Denis. Vanny, exjugador del Galaxy, aquí lo vemos, camiseta número 3, uno de los que está a prueba en esta selección, aunque ya tiene experiencia europea. Es más, su club le compró la carta definitiva. El pelotazo de Mastroeni para que la corra ahí adelante ante Razov, otro de los que está a prueba. Y el Conejo Oscar Pérez, que hoy luce de amarillo. Aquí viene el Conejo. La salida por aquel sector con Heriberto Ramón Morales, el Morelia. El pelotazo largo para Carlos Ochoa. Mastroeni parecía cometer infracción. Gabriel Caballero para Alberto Rodríguez, el del Pachuca. Vino para el Chuy Mendoza del América contra Mastroeni. Quiso jugar por entre las piernas de Mastroeni. Vanny deja muy corto y le cobraron mano. Esto no vale, no vale, no vale. Le cobraron mano a Gabriel Caballero.
Quiere enfriar el partido, por lo menos el clima de Estados Unidos en el comienzo. Y Vanny sacó arriesgadamente una pelota que casi propone un ataque certero y mucho más profundo de México. La fiebre, el fervor de las tribunas se ha contagiado a los jugadores, ¿eh? Por ahora todo el mundo tratando de que la pelota salga bien jugada.
Germán Villa desde arriba viene a buscar a Braulio Luna, parecían empujarlo. Le queda al zurdo ante Razón, lo voltean a Kobe Jones. Cuidado, fue muy duro con Germán Villa. ¿Cómo la viste desde abajo? ¿Se tropezaron o se buscaron, Fernando?
Bueno, déjame decirte, Andrés, que aquí el Vasco Aguirre ya está discutiendo con el cuarto árbitro y le reclamaba al asistente de línea que no había sido mano de Gabriel Caballero. Comienza a hacer su juego también el Vasco Aguirre en la banca, mandando a Daniel Osorno que suba bien por el carril, y finalmente la sonrisa aquí con el cuarto asistente.
¿Cómo reaccionó anímicamente el equipo después de la noticia de la lesión de Claudio?
Bueno, el equipo anímicamente ha reaccionado bien y el partido está brindado justamente para el estandarte de la selección, para Claudio Suárez. Hoy ya viste, Manuel Vidrio se corre al centro, Brown se abre por derecha, Heriberto Ramón Morales por izquierda, aunque en el Mundial es previsible que de no estar Claudio, Márquez será el defensa central que sobre.
El Conejo Pérez buscando al Chuy Mendoza, gana Mastroeni, la saca Mulrooney ante Razov, hacia atrás tratando de asegurar con Marcos Beasley, que pierde con Caballero. Ochoa que apura la salida de Greg Vanny. De los jugadores de Estados Unidos, los que están en observación son varios. Aquí Mulrooney, Beasley, el propio Vanny, sobre todo Mastroeni.
Y ante Razón, ¿no?
Sin duda.
Hombres que han estado en esta selección y a quienes se le da una oportunidad más.
Kobe, la pelota sobre el área, pero no hay nadie. Es saque desde el arco a favor de México en apenas 4 minutos. En vivo por Telemundo.
Un partido, Andrés, con toda la pimienta de un clásico de la CONCACAF, con un público excepcional, y además creo que aquí en Denver no es que nunca se vio la selección de México, nunca, en un estadio deportivo, en este, donde los Broncos han hecho historia, se ha vivido un fervor semejante en un partido rumbo al Mundial Mundial en un partido que recién comienza, con un público que hace la ola mexicana permanentemente una fiesta extraordinaria.
Tiro libre para Estados Unidos en la mitad de la cancha con el zurdo Greg Vanney. Iba a jugar con Mastroeni, prefiere jugar hacia adelante con Beasley. Viene a tomarlo Alberto Rodríguez. El toque de Vanney para Pablo Mastroeni, titubea y deja para Eddie Cole. Rooney pide por derecha, pero está tapado por Braulio. Tiene que rifar la pelota y regalársela al Conejo Pérez. La salida con Melvin Brown, que acaso sea la novedad en esta selección. Debutó en aquel partido de la eliminatoria en el debut del Vasco contra Estados Unidos, pero indudablemente no atraviesa por su mejor nivel en Cruz Azul.
Estaba en offside el hombre de Estados Unidos, que regresaba a espaldas de Melvin Brown, precisamente.
Manolo Vidrio, Carlos Ochoa, se desacomoda Chuy Mendoza, que no puede, y ya la saca Mulrooney. La pelota que viene al medio y es de Estados Unidos. Algunos jugadores locales, no veo a ningún mexicano, sí, Raúl Luna, Melvin, Manolo Vidrio, Morales. Ahora veo a todos, están todos con guantes.
Sí.
Está frío ahí abajo, Fernando.
Sí, empezó a soplar el viento y por eso algunos jugadores traen guantes, otros decidieron quitárselos después de haber salido a la cancha, pero sí ha comenzado a calar el frío en una temperatura de 35 grados Fahrenheit aquí en el terreno de juego.
Greg Vanney para Beasley. El que pide en el medio, Landon Donovan no le da, vino para Mulrooney. Va a cortar Dani Osorno, muy atento. Le queda Ochoa, viene el contragolpe. Aquí viene México. El toque para Braulio. El centro para Chuy. Ochoa, gol. ¡Gol! No vale. Bien marcado. No vale. Ochoa, si no la tocaba, me parece.
Sí.
Me parece era el gol de México si no la tocaba Ochoa.
No era un gol, era un golazo de Chuy Mendoza, con un cabezazo espectacular, bajo, inatajable a un rincón. La tocó el último hombre que estaba esperando ahí. Aquí viene el arranque por izquierda, el centro, el cabezazo. Y creo que la intervención de Ochoa le quita legitimidad a lo que hubiera sido el gol de apertura. Una muy buena jugada de México, cambiando el ritmo en 3/4 de cancha hacia adelante. Una gran robada, un gran pique de Osorno, que evidentemente le cambió la cara a México en el ataque y al partido. Inesperado, ¿eh?
Y desde muy atrás, donde lo quiere ver Fernando el Vasco Aguirre, Osorno, la primera le tocó acertar con el contragolpe.
Sí, le ha estado diciendo a Daniel Osorno ya con señas de que vaya al frente cuando el equipo tiene el balón, y le dijo al asistente de línea, Seri, van 2 que nos marcas en este partido, y otra vez ha tenido que intervenir el cuarto asistente aquí en las bancas.
Pero en esta tiene razón el árbitro jamaiquino, porque la tocó Ochoa, que estaba en posición fuera de juego. Matis. Mulrooney ahora volteado por izquierda, regaló la pelota. Llamativa imprecisión Norberto de Estados Unidos. En el arranque de este juego van 7,5.
No puede sacar la pelota del fondo. Los habilidosos, los que tienen mejor manejo, todavía no aparecieron en la selección norteamericana. Quizá por eso México, metiendo presión arriba, ahogó a una defensa que saca a cualquier lado. La pelota llega mal jugada.
Mastroeni, que despeja en el área. La viene a buscar Gabriel Caballero, le cae a Alberto Rodríguez. El toque otra vez para Caballero. Marca bien ahora Dani. Viene a buscar, traba, pero no puede. Landon Donovan. Le queda al jarocho Melvin Brown. Atrás para Manolo Vidrio. El pelotazo largo para Alberto Rodríguez, que quedaba en posición de ataque. Ya recupera Estados Unidos con Mulrooney. Greg Vanney la tira larga y le regala nuevamente el balón a México. Es de Melvin Brown, ahora Germán Villa, que regresa a la selección. La Marcus Beasley cortaba frente al Vasco Aguirre. Lateral para Estados Unidos. Con Vanney. Clint Matis. Vanney. Matis, uno de los pocos que estuvo hace exactamente una semana en Alemania, con la derrota 4-2 frente a los teutones. Ochoa para Braulio. Atrás pide Osorno, no lo marca nadie. Braulio se la va a jugar contra el alemán Frankie Heyduk. Aquí está Osorno. Villa, que no se anima por lo general a pegarle de lejos. El público que le empieza a cantar ole a Estados Unidos. México toca y toca. Vidrio. Morales. Osorno pide por izquierda. Morales. 3. Impresionante el bombazo. Bien Meola, atento. No se la esperaba seguramente Tony. De 35 metros el zurdazo.
Además de tener una gran potencia con una llamativa dirección. Estados Unidos espera atrás, trata de quitarle espacio a México, que se adueñó del partido, del ritmo y de la pelota. Y además también encontró en un par de ocasiones opciones muy claras. Estados Unidos todavía no apareció en el partido.
Va Beasley, voy a hacer un comentario en 30 segundos y apelo a Norberto Longo y a Fernando Schwartz para ver si coinciden conmigo. Lo voy a hacer ahora, 10 segundos antes.
Bueno.
Son los mejores primeros 10 minutos, son los mejores.